Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the scary truth about Lamar Jackson nobody wants to admit. Bro, like I'm getting sick and tired of hearing the hate on Lamar Jackson. Like, just because of his playoff record. Bro just made it to the AFC Championship last year and people are still hating on him. Like, still calling him a running back, this and that. Bro, you like tell me you don't know football, bro, without telling me you don't know football. Like, you do not, like, you just go based off stats, bro. You gotta actually watch the games. Like at least half of those games we would have lost last season without Lamar Jackson. Like, let's keep it a buck, bro. Some of the off-platform throws and the pocket presence that he has, like, come on now. Like, you cannot tell me that Lamar Jackson isn't, you know what I'm saying, improving his passing game. Like, the arm angles, the sidearms, crossbody, off-platform. Like, bro, he is way more than just a runner, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know his deep ball needs a little bit of work, but he's still working on that, bro. Each and every season, he's gotten better, you know what I'm saying, at throwing the ball a lot more. So, you know what I'm saying? And I think Todd Monken is really unlocking him. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Lamar Jackson is becoming the best dual threat quarterback the NFL has ever seen.
Facts.
That statement is something that he had to fight for his whole life. From growing up in poverty to being disrespected everywhere he went.
And it's crazy, like, bro, out of all the other 31 teams, nobody wanted this nigga. Like, everybody passed up on him in the draft. We actually traded back up in the first round to get this nigga. And then when he was going through, you know what I'm saying, the contract situation, and, you know what I'm saying, we let him talk with other teams, nobody wanted him, bro. Every other team that needed a QB did not want him. And I 100% agree that he's going to make all of those teams regret that this season. Each and every one of them. He's going to, I have full faith in Lamar to bring us a ring, because he said that shit the day he got drafted. What he promised? He promised to bring a Super Bowl home to the Ravens. I bet he's gonna stick by that word, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's sticking to that 100%, bro.
When he was 8 years young, that changed him forever. Lamar climbed from the absolute bottom to a sprint to the title of the best dual threat quarterback ever. Let's find out the scary truth that caused the two-time MVP to become a nightmare for his critics.
Okay.
Lamar Demetrius Jackson Jr. was born on January 7th, 1997 in Pompano Beach, Florida, to Felicia Jones and Lamar Jackson Sr. Growing up in an
R.I.P. his father, man.
section of Florida, Lamar found football as a way to deal with the economic stress his family faced on a daily basis. He got into the game by playing in the backyard with his dad and his three siblings, and when it was time to sign up for Pee Wee football, Lamar would light it up as he won MVP every single year, but then tragedy struck. His dad would suddenly pass away from
bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, not only did he lose his dad, bro, at the age of 8, but in the same day he lost his grandma, bro. Like, I wouldn't know how that feels to lose both my dad and my grandma on the same day. Like, that shit it's gotta eat you up inside. You know what I'm saying? That he just, like, his dad and his grandma not being able to see him play in the NFL, bro. Like, that is so sad.
Lamar was just 8 years old, and to make matters worse, his grandma would pass away on the same day.
Damn.
This would leave Lamar and his siblings to be raised by their mom, who
W
did
mom,
everything
bro.
she could to make sure that they had food on the table.
She raised him. She raised him good.
While she was doing this, she was also heavily involved in her kids' athletic endeavors, and she constantly pushed Lamar to be better. Lamar would later tell the Players Tribune, saying, quote, "When I was young, the best coach I've ever had was my first one, Mom. And I'm not saying that just because she looked out for me and encouraged me to pursue football and all that stuff. I mean, she actually made me grind to get better." And when he got to high school, Lamar would light up the gridiron with his ability to throw and run the ball as a quarterback. His video game-like ability to make defenders miss and throw bombs over the tops of defenses would make him a social media sensation, including this viral clip of him scrambling in the...
I didn't even know this was him at first. Like, when I had first saw this clip, I didn't know it was him until he said it,
every Power
or somebody else said it.
Watching Lamar as he threw for 2,263 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, and put up a 102.7 quarterback rating while also rushing for 624 yards and 22 touchdowns.
Niggas been elite since Pee Wee football, bro.
But despite this, Lamar would only be a 3-star prospect coming out of high school, since a lot of college scouts believed that his passing ability wouldn't be able to transfer to the next level. In fact, a lot of schools wanted him to switch positions to wide receiver or even
lame ass schools, bro. Not having faith in people is like, it's crazy. And like, and when they don't have faith in you, that's just gonna light a fire on you to do better, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you start succeeding, you shut up all the critics.
Defensive back, due to his acceleration.
I know these niggas is hating like crazy now, though.
Him to be a quarterback, and
that Lamar is so good.
College, Lamar was out to prove to the world that he was meant to play quarterback, and during his freshman season, he would get a chance to. He would start in 8 of the Cardinals' 12 games, and he threw for 1,840 yards. 12 touchdowns while running for
still almost ran for over 1,000 yards too, bro.
It's rare
crazy
for a 3-star quarterback to start his freshman year at a Power 5 school, but Jackson took the opportunity and made the most of it. Going into his sophomore year, all eyes were on him to see what he could do
that hurdle, bro.
Season. And well, once again, Jackson became a social media sensation
in the first half. Hold up, this nigga had 286 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. He had 119 rushing yards to go along with that and 2 rushing touchdowns. This nigga had 8 total touchdowns, and I think this is a little bit over, you know what I'm saying? Was it over 400 yards? I think it's a little bit over 400 yards. Oh no, it's a little bit under that. It's a little bit under that. My bad. But bro,
he scored
that shit is crazy, bro. I was not good at math, by the way, so
go on a tear, going for 3,543 passing
that
yards
is insane.
And 30 touchdowns, while also running for 1,571 yards and getting 21 rushing touchdowns his sophomore year.
That is
if
deadly.
You do the math, that's over 5,000 total yards and 50 touchdowns. And with the incredible numbers, Lamar took home the Heisman.
Like, it's still crazy that, you know what I'm saying, there were quarterbacks like him and Deshaun Watson, and like, bro, there was still the debate on who, you know what I'm saying, the best QBs in the draft class, like Josh Rosen. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
in college football,
shit is crazy.
Has shown those college scouts that his passing abilities did in fact transfer to the next level. And with his junior year approaching, the national spotlight on him was brighter than ever, and Lamar was prepared for it. He threw for 3,660 yards, ran for 1,601 yards, and scored 45 total touchdowns, and he was named the men's ACC Player of the Year across all sports. Despite the 2 legendary college seasons, Lamar couldn't escape the narrative that his passing abilities wouldn't be able to develop, and he wouldn't turn out to be anything more than a gadget player at the next level.
Niggas just be dick eating, bro.
Lamar figured that he had already achieved all that he could achieve in college and decided to declare for the NFL draft, and he would end up being requested by NFL scouts to try out with the receivers and not the quarterback. Nobody in the NFL believed that he could become a pocket passer, and that's why he fell on draft day. And while Lamar was free falling down the draft board, his mom was with him through the entire thing. But eventually, the Ravens would give him a call. Just like Louisville, Baltimore saw something in Lamar and decided to trade up for him and selected him with the
this shit is giving me goosebumps, bro.
NFL draft. With an aging Joe Flacco, the Ravens saw Jackson as a project to develop behind Flacco to eventually step into the starting role a few years down the line when he was ready. Except that time would come a lot sooner as Joe Flacco got hurt in week 10 versus Pittsburgh. The Cincinnati Bengals were up next for the Ravens, and their fans didn't think that Jackson would be able to win the game for them since he only had 11 weeks to get his feet wet in the NFL. But with the confidence his mom installed in him, Lamar won the game and threw for 150 yards and ran for 117 more. He would then never look back as he proceeded to get 6 more wins in the Ravens' final 7 games, and despite
he took us to the playoffs too.
Games, he led the league in quarterback rushing with 653 yards. The Ravens were 10-6 and secured themselves a playoff matchup with the Chargers in the wild card round. At just 21 years old, Jackson became the youngest player ever to start a playoff
Look at that throw, bro.
Unfortunately, he would end up losing the game, and the critics of Lamar question if he could win when it matters. Now with the full off,
like, bro, already saying this shit, he was a rookie, bro. Like, get his dick out y'all mouths. Like, come on now.
Design their system around Lamar, Jackson would go out with something to prove. And in week 1 versus the Dolphins, he became the youngest player ever to have a perfect passer rating as he threw for 324 yards and 5 touchdowns. The history books would continue to get smashed as he became the first player in league history to throw for 250 yards and rush for 120 yards in a game in week 2 versus Arizona. He was unstoppable, and Lamar led the Ravens to a 14-2 record, finished with 3,000 passing yards, 1,000 rushing yards, and scored a combined 43 touchdowns. And he also led the league in touchdown passes and quarterback rating and broke the NFL record for most rushing yards by quarterback.
But they say Lamar can't pass, and he led the league in passing touchdowns.
The Ravens were the Goliath heading into a playoff matchup against the Tennessee
Dick
Titans,
eating.
and Lamar balled out.
See, like, bro, like, he was not the reason we lost this game. 365 yards passing and 143 on the ground. Like, come on, bro. Like the Lamar can't play good and the playoff narrative needs to fucking stop, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not just him that's playing on the field. He's got 10 other players playing with him, bro. And he's got head coaches, offensive coordinators. Like, bro, come on. It's not all just Lamar.
For 365 passing yards and ran for 143 more, and became the first player to throw for 300 and rush for 100 in a playoff game. Sadly, the Ravens would fall short, and the Titans secured the massive upset, and the critics continued to lay the playoff choker label on Jackson. After the season, Lamar became the second player ever to unanimously win the MVP, and the second youngest player to ever win the award. Now going into year 3, everyone expected Lamar to shut up the critics and to have even a better year than his sophomore MVP season, but these were unreasonable goals since NFL teams now had a full season's worth of film on Lamar, and they were able to game plan around him to try and stop his talent. His numbers dropped a bit as he threw for 2,757 yards and ran for 1,005 more and scored 33 combined touchdowns, and he led the Ravens to 11-5 record and another playoff berth. Lamar would become the first quarterback to have multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons in just his first 2 years as a starter. The Ravens had opportunity for revenge in the playoffs as they had a date with the Tennessee Titans in the wild card, and Jackson would be looking for blood as he threw for 179 yards and ran for 136 in a win. And Lamar would secure his first career playoff win, and it seemed like this would be the year
that felt so good, bro. That
win
win,
a championship, and then disaster struck.
Then he got hurt.
Lamar would exit the divisional playoff versus the Bills with a concussion, and the Ravens would suffer a brutal end to their season, the 17-3 defeat. The injury woes would continue to haunt Jackson going into his 4th season, and he was on track to win another MVP with 3,643 total yards and 18 touchdowns in just the first 11 games before he would be knocked out with an ankle injury in week 12. And once again in year 5, an injury would end Lamar's season short as he had 3,028 yards and 20 touchdowns in the first 11 games.
Like, realistically, bro, this nigga Lamar could be a 4-time MVP right now, bro. If he won and got hurt 2021 and 2022, like, bro,
knocked out in the game in week 12 versus the Broncos with a knee injury.
Niggas really tried to take him out.
Lose to the Bengals in the
it's like they had a bounty out on this nigga or something.
And the critics had plenty of ammunition to question Jackson's legitimacy as a long-term starter, but Baltimore saw through all of these questions as they signed Lamar to a long-term extension, and going into year 6, Jackson would prove that the Ravens made the right decision. He would end up throwing for 3,678 yards, rushing for 821 more, and scoring 29 total touchdowns and leading the Ravens to a 13-3 record. After a demolition of the Houston Texans in the divisional round, a game in which Jackson had 252 combined yards and 4 combined touchdowns, Lamar would make his first AFC title game appearance, and he started the game flying and kept the Ravens in it versus the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Chiefs defense would prove too much and Patrick Mahomes would make another Super Bowl. Then after the season, Lamar was named NFL MVP for the second time in controversial fashion, as the NFL analyst said that he didn't deserve it since he couldn't win in the playoffs and he had mediocre regular season.
Hop off his dick, bro. Niggas dick suck. Like, bro, come on. Like, nigga, like, bro, it's not all about stats. That's what niggas are not understanding, bro. Like, he helps us win games. Like, we were the 1 seed because of him. Without Lamar Jackson, this team wouldn't have gotten far. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. The
analyst said that he didn't deserve it since he couldn't win in the playoffs and he had mediocre regular season numbers. But if there's one thing Lamar has been consistently good at, is proving everyone wrong when people are counting him out. And that's incredibly scary. for the rest of the league. You know what's also scary? Missing an upload. So, you know, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the bell, do all that, so that doesn't happen. Anyways, let's get back to the story. Lamar is terrifying to game plan for, and in just 5 seasons as a full-time starter, he's already 4th on the all-time quarterback rushing yards list.
Oh,
and he's
shit.
900 more to become the greatest rushing quarterback of all time and to surpass Michael Vick. Jackson is already beating Vick in completion percentage, passing yards per game, quarterback rating, and he has twice the All-Pro nominations and MVPs than Vick.
Now look at this, bro. Look at this fucking QB comparison, bro. We know how elite Vic was, and Lamar's numbers are better. Like, bro, niggas just hate just to hate, bro. They just hate how good Lamar is.
For the greatest
like, come on now.
Of all time, and he'll take that title away from Vic if he puts up another MVP season in year number 7. It's not just Vic either. Lamar has surpassed other all-time great dual-threat quarterbacks like Cam Newton, who even went on to say that, quote, Lamar is the greatest dual-threat in NFL history, and the numbers back it up, as Lamar would need just 400 rushing yards this season to pass Newton's career mark. Just like
and look at like the season comparisons too. Hold on, let's go back. Let's go back, bro.
Time starter, he's already 4th on the all-time.
Like, he's only in 6 seasons, and so he's going into his 7th one, and already about to surpass all of these guys in rushing yards. Like, come on. Like, Vic did it in 13 seasons with 6,100, 11 seasons for 5,600 for Cam Newton, and Russ is still playing. You know what I'm saying? Over 5,300 yards rushing for his career in 12 seasons. Lamar's about to pass them in damn near 7 seasons, bro. 7 seasons. Like, come on, bro. That shit is crazy, gang. That shit is crazy. Hold up. I'm trying to get it back to the...
Vic, if he puts up another MVP season in year number 7. It's not just Vic either. Lamar has surpassed other all-time great dual-threat quarterbacks like Cam Newton, who even went on to say that, quote, Lamar is the greatest.
Bro, imagine Cam Newton had Lamar Jackson's speed when he played.
As Lamar
Yo, that would have been scary.
Rushing yards this season to pass Newton's career mark. Just like Cam recently said, the scary truth about Lamar Jackson is that his greatness is inevitable, and he deserves to be respected as a generational talent just like Mahomes is.
Facts.
Because when you come from nothing, there's no limit on what
I like that. I like that.
Nothing. One man who came from a grocery store but rose to the top of the NFL mountain is Kurt Warner.
Oh shit.
Click here if you'd like to know more about his incredible story, and if not, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and don't forget to go be great this week.
W.
See you in the next one, my friend.
Hey man, it's a great vid. Gridiron, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a sub, bro. WVid. But hey, bro, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notifications to get notified whenever I drop another banger video. One road to 400 subs. I'm gonna get more banger NFL reactions like this. And without further ado, I'm out. Gang.